The global fashion world was just shaken by news that cannot be ignored. Jungkook and Jimin, two of the most influential names in South Korea's entertainment industry, have officially joined Louis Vuitton in a strategic move that has quickly been dubbed the most striking collaboration between K-pop and global luxury. This isn't just another regular partnership. This is a cultural, economic, and symbolic takeover that could shift the fashion world's center of gravity toward the East. But what does this move truly mean? Is it merely an expansion of brand strategy? Or is it a symbolic statement that K-pop is no longer borrowing luxury, but becoming its driving force? The entry of Jungkook and Jimin into Louis Vuitton's exclusive circle creates a new wave in the relationship between the music industry and luxury fashion. Unlike previous celebrity partnerships that were temporary campaigns or limited event appearances, this is a collaboration that fuses the power of two cultural entities that have shaped global generational perception. They are not just worn, they now represent. Louis Vuitton, as a symbol of exclusivity and status, has chosen two icons from the world of K-pop, not from Hollywood or Europe, as the faces of its future strategy. This is no coincidence, but a powerful signal of a shifting influence landscape. Even more surprising is that this decision comes at a time when collaborations between luxury brands and K-pop are maturing, yet none have reached this level of ambition. It's not an exaggeration to call this the biggest luxury deal yet in the context of K-pop, not solely due to its financial value, but because of the domino effect it might cause. Major fashion brands are now being forced to reevaluate their old endorsement models. Are they still relevant in the Asian market without K-pop icons? Do Western celebrities still dominate Gen Z's visual and cultural attention? Jungkook and Jimin themselves possess massive individual brand power. Jungkook, as the Golden Magne, has proven himself a global magnet in music, lifestyle, and fitness. On the other hand, Jimin is known for his artistic refinement and elegant visual charm, perfectly aligning with Louis Vuitton's aesthetic narrative of grace amidst design experimentation. Their combination creates a balance of modern masculinity and classical softness, a contrast that sells and is hard to replicate. For Louis Vuitton, this is no longer about reaching the Asian market. It's about leading from the center of a new global pop culture. South Korea, their involvement also broadens the perspective on how the luxury industry integrates into digital identity. Instead of hiring passive figures in ad campaigns, Louis Vuitton chose two individuals with active, loyal, and militant followings. ARMY, BTS's global fan community, are not just consumers, they are participants in the narrative. The impact is tangible. Within hours of this collaboration's announcement, searches for specific Louis Vuitton lines surged on various online shopping platforms. Social media flooded with visual interpretations, fan art, and fashion predictions from fans. Louis Vuitton gained something money can't buy: cultural currency. The question now is, will this step open the door to a more symbiotic system between global brands and Korean artists? Is this a sign that Western dominance in fashion will be more openly challenged by East Asian visual power and narratives? Or could this be the beginning of an era where K-pop artists are not just ambassadors, but also creators, designers, even influencers of luxury brands' creative directions? One thing is clear: this is more than a contract. It's an unspoken declaration that the world is now looking to South Korea not only for music or entertainment, but also for the definition of style, identity, and cultural representation. When Jungkook and Jimin step forward as the faces of Louis Vuitton, they don't just represent themselves or their fandom. They carry the image of a nation, a generation, and the evolution of an entertainment industry now beginning to conquer fashion in ways that can no longer be ignored. And most intriguingly, all this happened without a single lengthy formal statement from the agency. As if this new reality speaks loudly enough. Now, the only question remains: who will follow in their footsteps? And is the luxury industry ready to face a new wave from the East that no longer asks for permission to enter, but comes to lead under the spotlight, on stage, and in the front rows of fashion shows? Jungkook and Jimin have surpassed the traditional limits of K-pop artists. They are no longer just singers or dancers. They are cultural symbols, agents of change, and now global fashion icons in the truest sense. Looking at the scale and impact of the announcement of Jungkook and Jimin's involvement with Louis Vuitton, one vital question arises that we should not ignore. Is all of this truly real, or is it part of a strategically constructed narrative designed to generate massive viral impact? In today's digital era, the line between fact, media campaigns, and visual fabrication is increasingly blurred. Therefore, the public must pause to analyze. Are we witnessing an authentic moment in K-pop and fashion history, or being conditioned to believe in it? The sources of information regarding this collaboration don't come from one fully validated official channel. Many video clips, short posts, visual speculations, and netizen interpretations are scattered across TikTok, Twitter, now X, YouTube Shorts, and ARMY community platforms worldwide. All convey a similar narrative. Jungkook and Jimin have become part of the Louis Vuitton big family. But so far, there has been no single statement to serve as the main reference, only narrative fragments that are processed and massively disseminated. So the question is, who controls this narrative? And to whose benefit? We cannot ignore the fact that today's entertainment and fashion industries heavily rely on public emotional engagement. Major collaboration rumors like this can spark waves of emotional reaction, global trending topics, and even stock value increases. Is it possible this rumor, no matter how convincing, is just a tool to stir market interest? Could this be part of a non-traditional communication strategy that doesn't require direct clarification, because the public itself brings the narrative to life through speculation, commentary, and endless sharing? The fan reactions, flooding timelines with theories, fan-made designs, and fashion look analyses only confirm that this communication effect works. But does that mean the information we receive is actually true? In a world driven by algorithms and impressions, virality is often more valuable than truth. Hence, we must ask, are we, as digital audiences, consuming information or merely pawns in an attention game? We also must consider the possibility that this is part of a narrative experiment by major brands like Louis Vuitton, using fandom power, visual leaks, and ambiguity to create an atmosphere that makes the public crave clarification. Without needing to announce anything, they've already created a global buzz that even standard advertising budgets can't buy. So we must ask, who actually benefits from this confusion? There is one important aspect we must reflect on. The speed of information spread today is not matched by our depth of understanding. On TikTok, a 15-second video can shift millions of people's perception in hours. On Twitter, a single image from a fashion show can lead to the assumption that an idol is now an ambassador. But is there any objective validation for any of it? Have we truly separated high likelihood from factual certainty? In this context, we need to look deeper. Does this step truly reflect a strategic shift by Louis Vuitton and a K-pop revolution in luxury? Or is it simply a tactic to steal attention from other events, shift public discourse, or keep a brand relevant amid fast-changing market dynamics? More than just believing or not, it's time for the public to start asking, who benefits from this narrative? Who first spread the information? Why is there no direct clarity? And what's the impact if the information turns out to be only half true or entirely misleading? We're not here to provide definite answers, because today's digital reality rarely offers instant certainty. But we invite you not to accept information passively. Instead of believing outright, question it, analyze, compare, check the source, and more importantly, consider the motives behind every viral narrative. Is this information or just engineered impression? In a world driven by views, quick reactions, and impulsive comments, skepticism is our last line of defense as information consumers. We can no longer afford to be naive. Don't just be a news spreader, be a critical observer. Because behind every viral visual, there's always someone aiming to shape your perception, with or without the truth. Considering all of this, we want to ask you directly as a viewer, do you truly believe Jungkook and Jimin have officially become Louis Vuitton ambassadors? Or do you feel this is all too smooth to be real, revealing how powerful perception management is in the digital age? Please write your comments. Your discussion might become part of a narrative larger than just celebrity news. It could be a social reflection of how we absorb and trust information today. Keep thinking critically, because in the visual era, what looks real isn't always the truth.